Hello again, it's Emily, and one of my goals this quarter was to read The Creative Act again. I meant I wanted to read it for a second time, but as it turns out, I finished reading it and then I was like, wait, I want to make this video. So I had to go back and read it again and actually highlight and annotate and all that good stuff so you and I could have a chat. So I read this book 3 times now, and I think you should check it out. It's not just for artists, it's for anyone who needs to use creative thinking in their everyday life, which is everyone. So these are a handful of quotes that I want to talk about from The Creative Act. Setting the bar low, especially to get started, frees you to play, explore, and test without attachment to results. Exactly. Sitting down to start a project and saying, like, this needs to be a bestseller, or this needs to be this length, or this needs to accomplish this thing is a terrible thing that you can do to your mental health. I think that getting started on anything is the hardest part of doing that thing. And so I've completely devolved to just start. I like to do the thing where you set a timer for as little as 5 minutes, and then you're like, I'm just gonna spend 5 minutes doing this thing, and when the timer's up, you can stop or you can keep going. More often than not, you want to keep going simply because getting started is so difficult. Semi-related to this is taking baby steps to accomplish a goal. I would rather have a super long list of very achievable steps to take than a really short list of entire things that need to be done with several steps to do them. For any rules you accept of what you can and cannot do as an artist, of what your voice is and isn't, of what's required to do the work and what you don't need, it would be worthwhile to try the opposite. Listen, rules can help you and they can hurt you, and that's rules that come with any medium, and that's rules that you put on yourself. When I started YouTube, there was certainly a formula that a lot of people use and is kind of just a YouTube formula, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this because this is what you're supposed to do. It was very helpful to get started. It was just fill in the blanks. Don't worry too much about being creative with the video of it all, the formatting, just A and B, C, just plug it in and get your bearings, and then work on being more creative with that. And there are pieces of the formula that I keep with me still, and I'm sure they will go away one day, or they'll just go away for one video and then I'll learn whatever I need to learn and then I'll bring them back. Something like that. One thing with rules and the formula of this is that I think that as long as I'm doing something that is exciting, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. If I'm doing something that is cool and that I'm excited about and I think has value, then the right people will find it and they will also think it's valuable, and it doesn't matter if that is 5 people or 500 people or more. A full imperfect version is generally more helpful than a seemingly perfect fragment. I wish someone would have told me this a long time ago. I wish someone would have told me this a long time ago. I have so many perfect fragments that will never exist because I stopped during that strike of inspiration, and I was like, okay, this little fragment is perfect, and I'll just come back later and fill it out. No, I will not. No, I won't. I can only imagine what those fragments could have been if I focused on the bigger picture when I was in the moment and inspired, rather than zooming in. Put the decision making into the work, not into when to work. Brother. The way this changed my brain chemistry, I actually do this so much with going to the gym and working out in general. I am so okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and then I'm gonna do this and this and this, and I'm going to think about it in the bigger picture of Monday gym day, Wednesday gym day, Friday gym day, blah, blah, blah. Girl, you're literally just making excuses, shut up. All I needed to do actually was say, I'm gonna go to the gym at 3 o'clock, and then go to the gym at 3 o'clock and let all the details of arms, legs, stretching fill in the blanks themselves. This has helped me a lot also because I don't have a normal job, so I don't have the structure of gotta be to work at 8 a.m. and clock in, or something bad's gonna happen, I'm gonna get in trouble or something. I definitely rely on that external structure that I just don't have right now. So saying I have to clock in and get to the gym at 3 o'clock is very helpful for this. Mixing blue and yellow makes green. Adding 2 plus 2 makes 4. When combining basic elements in the ordinary course of life, much is predictable. I want to talk about the word bank that I made. I don't know, it was a while ago, long ago. I have made a word bank Okay, so let me show you an example that is my word bank for March. Basically, I just came up with a bunch of words that I wanted my content to kind of be created around, created about. And some of those words are challenge, routine, experiment, Southern California, art, discovery. And then I made those like equations and put like challenge plus art plus discovery. What do those things put together make in terms of a video? I love this way of brainstorming. It scratches my brain really nice. I think it helps keep my content a little bit more cohesive because I do have so many different things that I'm interested in. And so it kind of brings it back to like these 10 words. And I had a different word bank for January, February. So I think I'm gonna keep doing this like word bank formula situation, and I love brainstorming this way, so maybe you should try it and let me know what you think. Releasing a work into the world becomes easier when we remember that each piece can never be a total reflection of us, only a reflection of who we are in this moment. He talks a lot about your art being like a chapter in your life and like a journal entry in your life, and like where you are right now is why you're making the art that you're making. And I have fully adopted this. I cannot not see this when I make art. And I know too that like I work very quickly. I think it's the being ruled by the sun of it all. I'm constantly changing my mind. I'm constantly like, okay, collage was fun for a few weeks. I need to go do something else. So I try to put stuff out constantly. I'm like, okay, it's done. Perfect. Here you go. I cannot hold on to it because the longer I hold on to it, the more I'm like, I don't really care about this anymore. I don't like this anymore. So I try to just show you stuff as soon as it's done. I think that it can be way, way hard to like have this collection of whatever from however many years ago and then try to look at it as who you are now. Like that is just not the way my brain works, and I would not do that. And if you do that, great, you should do it. Whatever you want to do is the correct answer. But if you usually like take forever to release something, just try releasing something really fast, and vice versa. Each mindset evokes a universal rule. Whatever we concentrate on, we get. Would you guys believe that saying something out loud to a camera and then posting it on the internet for people to see is actually a really good way to manifest? Listen, I did not do any of this with the intention of that, but I think about like making a video about like me talking about manifesting the things that I want, simply because putting it out into the world is how you get those things. I've been making a video that has taken me like 4 months to make, and looking at like me at the beginning, talking about all these things that I want and then watching myself accomplish them, that'll do something to your brain, okay? That'll do something to your brain. You should try coming up with a list of things that you want to accomplish this year or in the next 5 years. Say it to the camera, save the file, bury it in your folders, and look back at it in a year and see what happens. Complete as many elements of the project as you can without getting hung up. It's much easier to circle back once the workload is reduced. Often the knowledge we gain from finishing the other pieces becomes a key to overcoming earlier obstacles. Have you ever taken a test and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a really hard question, I am gonna skip it, and then you take the rest of the test and then you go back and you're like, oh yeah, like this answer was kind of hidden within the other questions. It's just that. This has been really helpful for me making videos. I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do for this section, or I don't know how to script this, or I'm not sure, whatever. Move on, come back to it. Oh, the answer was right there all along. There's absolutely no reason to just power through something when you could skip around and make your life easier. Once you acquiesce to the demands of the creative life, it becomes a part of you. Even in the midst of a project, you still look for new ideas each day. At any moment, you're prepared to stop what you're doing to make a note or a drawing or capture a fleeting thought. It becomes second nature, and we're always in it every hour of the day. I subscribe to this and I have a really hard time with it, to be honest. I'm constantly like having to stop what I'm doing and like take notes, or I'm watching YouTube and minding my own business, and then my brain's like, but have you thought about this? And I'm like, I guess I'll think about it now. It's like actually so exhausting. It feels like I don't get a break, and I guess it's just like how it is. I guess that's just life as an artist. If you have a way of managing these constant flow of ideas, please share it below. I will read it. The instinctual tug tends to be the purest, whereas the second, more reasoned thought tends to be processed and distorted through analysis. I started doing this thing where I'm in between, okay? I'm like in bed, I'm awake, I haven't like gotten up yet. I'm like, what should I do? Oh, I should do this. And then I just shut up and I stop thinking. And I'm like, okay, well, this was my first thought of like my next step in what I'm gonna do. If that's like eat or go outside or whatever it is, I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do, even if it's not like my normal routine. And I am not good at this yet, but I am really good now at recognizing the difference between thought number one and like analyzed thought number two. And I think that I can only get better at it. I have a really hard time with efficiency. I'm like, I cannot do anything if it's not the most efficient option, when really doing anything is the most efficient option because you're doing something and not just sitting and waiting and organizing and preparing. Whatever your gut reaction and response and idea is, just go and do it. Pause this video, go do it right now. Success is harder to come by when your life depends on it. Exactly. I just want a silly job. I want a silly job so bad, but this job market is not it. No, it's not it. And I really don't want to like put the pressure of money and like income on YouTube or anything that's art. I just like don't know how to get a job. But if you have a 9 to 5 and that funds your creative time, ain't nothing wrong with it. We do not need everyone to be entrepreneurs. We don't need everyone to have a small business. If you want one, okay, sure. You do not need one, I promise. And I want to say one thing that this guy does not talk about really at all, I don't think, is that sometimes you just have to make art that you don't like to get to art that you do like. There's a process where you just make experimentations, okay? And you just go, I'm gonna make this, and then you learn whatever you need to learn, and it gives you an idea of like, okay, I'm gonna do that again, but faster. Okay, I'm gonna do that again, but more chaotically. And you just have this like huge library of experiments, and without every single one of those steps, you wouldn't have come upon the bigger project that you actually like. And it's okay to like do these little experiments and think like, don't love this. It doesn't matter. You don't have to love it. You have to learn from it. And that is the extent of its life, you know? So next time you make something that you hate, just know that you learned something and you did get better. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about. I hope that you got something out of this video. And if you did, and you want to tell me about it, I'll read your comment and I'll probably reply to it too. So try to comment if you can. Thanks for watching this silly little video. And if you want more of these, I have a couple other books that I love to read. I've read a handful of times, one of them being A Return to Love. Love that book so much. I would love to pick out some quotes and talk to you about them. Big Magic is another book that I love to read. Or maybe like Atomic Habits. Those are the 3 books that I would be like, let me go get that right now. I have it in storage. Let me go get it and read it. But if there's a different book that you would like me to have a little chat about, then let me know in a comment. Thanks. Love you. Bye.